This world is my cave, and the cave molds the background of a picture painted by you.
He kicks and screams and scratches at the time as it slowly passes by. Only the laugh which ultimately fucks his mind. He strains to twist and build the universe at his will, hoping to open the sky and seal off the present hell he exists in. Within the breath of his imagination, realizes everything is just a word, but his focus is drowned with the unpleasing echo sound of a heartbeat pound. No sleep, dream of oxygen bound to the bleeding walls of his nature. Now in pieces under the fingernails, firmly pressed until the palm of his hand. He has a vision, he is a vision, he isn't man. Myth or plan, land shifts as his numb lungs expand. He feels the cold rush in his veins, so plain and bland is this desolate warp in which he stands. And no one can enter his eyes.
In the cave molds the background of a picture painted by you.
And no one can enter his eyes.
In the cave molds the background of a picture painted by you.
And no one with fading fires in his arms and awakening. He drank and danced all night without the final reversion in the moon. And no one with fading fires in his arms and awakening. He drank and danced all night without the final reversion in the moon. He left his face and final snaps at his arms and awakening. He drank and danced all night without the final reversion in the mind. He left his face and final snaps at his arms and awakening. He drank and danced all night without the final reversion in the morning time. Hey yo, it's time. It's time. Yeah, it's time. Hey yo, it's time. Hey yo, it's time. Let them know what time it is.
Yo, it's time to clean MTV out of your ears and listen up like a good student. Eyedea and Abilities is here to turn robotic cheek back into humans. I gotta speak so the facts get heard. I collapse the last fraction nerve. This is much more than just your average rapper's words. Acid burns and laughter hurts. The passengers of my head flight dead right if a clash occurs. That ass gets served. Better luck next life. I plaster germs on the wall of shame, cause their songs are all the same and it's played. Talking how you platinum on the first record you ever made. And the underground MCs these days don't seem to make the grade. Too busy being bitter about their situation to create a greater way to break the chains to that phase. And I don't trust the mangy mud label pets talking dog shit. I'm breaking that frame of nuts and hang them up in your boss's office. See me auction off heads easy for low prices. I flow nicest right at night to fight off poltergeists. Catapult advice from Iris. The hope for light is the virus of the whole crisis. Souls like this collide with logic and modestly deposit metaphysical greetings. And I didn't come alone. Abilities annihilates the text while I wreck the microphone. We're in your zone to keep your earth warm and give you what you thirst for. This is turntablism and lyricism, imperialism's firstborn. I'll be writing till I'm dead, maybe till I'm alive. All the emptiness I've let has only helped me survive. Something melted inside when the tones hit my pulse and stifled the idle eagerness to grow into my clothes. Knowing that I know's any longer good at acting like they comprehend the motive uncoded to feed the corroded passion. Action needs to stay eye level with the rest. That's the least I deserve for the love that I've shed. I've trudged through the sediment in search of the rhythm. Dove so first to bathe nude in its abyss. Paid dues and made music my religion. Now I listen, close my eyes and forget I even exist. I sing a bastard's tune inspired by the noise of shit made before it sank and was finally destroyed. I flaunt the grin of a man made for disguising a boy who tried to avoid showing the cry in his voice. But there's something special about the notes that he hears. The scales of redemption, unraveling repressed memories. And when he breathes a new energy enters and consumes him to heal his wounds and unseal his doom. If only I can make you understand. But words are just words, so I can't. The universe's deepest art form keeps my heart warm with influence. I tell ya, ain't nothing quite as beautiful as music. To be an angel, you gotta earn your wings. To control your own, you gotta burn your strings. To hit blackjack, you gotta turn a king. But to live forever, all you gotta do is learn to sing. I get a pleasure that's inevitably immeasurable, and I won't let it be rejected by no man. Why does it have to be so damn difficult to live in the frame of a game that'll slit your throat? But I've dug in the mud in search of the drum. Dove so first to bathe nude in its abyss. Stayed true to the music. Now my favorite thing to do is close my eyes and forget that I even exist. I hold this fist full of degenerate ideas for every genius that was murdered in the name of Jesus. Still deaf to the bells that claim to free us, but I pay homage to my melody cause she's the sweetest. The core of our spirit is naked. The form of its lyrics are sacred, blanketed by the original sound of the inner vibrations. I'm floating on the soft clouds of positive creation. I can look at a painting and admire the colors, or appreciate any type of art that I discover. But what I dig's invisible, it's my teacher and I'm its student. I tell you, ain't nothing quite as beautiful as music. It is kind of a funny story. He lives in a 4x2 glass box that reminds me of my head. I wish my floor would have rocks, but it's covered with puddles instead. If I could be him, life would be great. I could erase this permanent frown. I wouldn't even be held down by my own weight. I woke up, walked to the tank to hear his thoughts on yesterday. How was it, I asked, and after a tap on the glass, he looked my way, then gave me this depressed expression and pressed his best just to say, besides the tides and the gray skies, it was okay. And I said, hey, Mr. Fish, you get all that you wish. You got nothing to complain about while hanging out in this bit. And he replied, well, existence is bliss. There's so much that you miss. Besides, get off the trip. Happiness is just a myth. I said, living in water is extremely more peaceful than life. Confined with mind blinded by the evil. I'm forced to see through these two peepholes. It seems to redeem freedom, not being limited by walls. But that only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. But Mr. Fish just laughed as I went on and on and on. So I interrupted his chuckle, putting up my middle finger. And he boldly told me it's too bad I'm such a thinker. So arrogantly I asked, how could someone think too much? He added that insanity lingers and thoughts brought me to the brink of such. He said you live inside a head that reminds me of my glass box. And everyone's the same, all brains are contained by a reality frame. And change with terrain, it's trained not to change. And once you see what I've explained, you hit the jackpot. And at that very moment, it was like my eyes really opened. The air that previously surrounded me was now an ocean, still totally invisible except for minor pieces of debris. The Mr. Fish pushed up to the glass and he looked just like me. My whole world spun around, I didn't understand, but I realized I was no longer a man. So I thought about what he said and asked him what was going on. And he said, you didn't know it, but you were the fish all along. He said, congratulations, you did it, you broke free. You're just a fish, like the rest of humanity. Now it took me a long time to get adjusted to this tank, but now I know what I am. And so to that man I give thanks. I've always lived inside this glass box that reminds him of his head. It just goes to show you that your mind is your own monster. Reality's what you make it, and if you take it away, you're just a fish like me, swimming in the powdered water. Someone grew up in a cubicle, as Plato once suggested. They would only know the cubicle and not the world outside it, and they wouldn't view the cubicle as something geometric. We only know it's a cubicle because we live outside. Now the one inside the cubicle can't comprehend its measurements, cause measurements are models made of for and by observers relative to their position on the outside of the cubicle, to understand objectively so they can study further. If I grew up in a cubicle, the walls limit my universe. I have no knowledge of the entirety like the outsiders do. If you follow what I say and can swallow the powdered water, close your eyes and open your mind, this one's for you. The brain equals a cubicle, we'll never think outside it. I decide and why to try to tie a diagram or modify it. I'm a man that's a hybrid of a body, a pirate of a soul that can fly without control. Realize the brain takes in 6 billion signals per second, most of which are hidden and not given to the senses. We're limited to a few futile primitive tools of perception, living in a universal pool of first-hand deception. The mind's job is to receive the signals and block out the ones that don't coincide with imprinted symbols. That way the information you obtain is recognized. Reality is thinkable, incomparable to space and time. It makes a map of the territory that gives us the topic of the Copenhagen interpretation of modern quantum physics. Which states we don't know the meal, we only know the menu that our brain tells us is real. We don't know the rules of our heads. From inside these cubicles we can't see the truth. No one really knows exactly what happens when we think, therefore we can never really ever know anything. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness Defined mind disorder. Symptoms include illusion, losing the tissue and fluid that borders the bruise, contorted to lose core of my aura, among other things that clutter dreams, and suddenly pull my swollen puppet strings, hold and clutch my utterly insecure back, pedaling, please pour the powdered water from the kettle and load my cup full of adrenaline. Now I can settle in tucked tight between sheetrock and crushed ice. She knocked, but I never let her in, despite the fact she looked nice in black sediment. My head isn't twisted upright, it leans lopsided, but eerie enough, I still treasure it dearly. Born in a vocal booth, I hope to own the moon, and with no excuse soon to be the groom to a tune close to you. Sail the true stale ocean blue in 8 months, with corrosion grew for 8 months, and a Trojan threw a fake punch at a crow to fool him. I've sold my sanctuary, thank you very much. Buried all I carried for a vocabulary rush, and I don't wanna be around when the cherry busts, cause when it does, the sun will flood all of America. It might have been all over if you were to barely thrust, but you got greedy, punctured too deep, and now she's scared of trust. But who can you trust anyway? Every opinion stated by an experience, making thought a response to memory. I am my enemy, can't pick my way out of this penitentiary, or break the condition in humanity's mechanically accepted for centuries. It's the water, is it real? How does it make you feel? Being endlessly dependent on external crutches and shields, sleepwalking through the dust-covered fields, haunted by the taunted souls of those who kept the seals closed. I've stretched the distance and pushed the envelope. This song's become an endless note for all women and men with hope. Open your eyes, you no longer can float. You're sinking and drinking the powdered water, gon' make you choke. I once met a man who trained himself not to dream. What he seems to have seen was a glimpse of everything. He's been painting pictures on canvas since age 13 and claims he only exists in the mind of a higher being. And I enjoy his work, mostly scenic landscapes, but each one is focused on an easel where the man paints himself, painting himself and all that's in his visual field. He said this was the only way he could make himself real. Ever since he could remember, he had one nightmare reoccur. But until about 10 years ago, it didn't matter. It consisted of loud, distorted sounds echoing off the concrete he ran on top of in an attempt to reach a ladder. Now sometimes he gets so close but never touches destination, which caused him much frustration cause he didn't know what it meant. And by the end of the dream, he saw the scene from a bird's eye. Only the witness's dead body laying on the cement. It was only the witness's dead body laying on the cement. At first it freaked him out, but after a while he grew content. So he thought it's just a dream and kept living his life, writing his soul on the canvas cause it sheds its planet light. And it goes on and on like space and time. Ain't nothing odd, it's not that he didn't believe, he just didn't approve of God. His experience was one I couldn't comprehend till I stopped being detective and listened to him as a friend. He said he once saw a painting that told his whole life story. It was then that he knew he was the art of divinity. He once saw a painting that told his whole life. A brushstroke of the gods made him one note in their symphony. He once saw a painting that told his whole life story. He spoke for himself and not the rest of humanity. He once saw a painting that told his whole life. And I realized that I'm not real, God just imagined me. Like I said about 10 years ago, the event that changed his whole reality took place on his monthly trip to the local art gallery. It was there where he studied his contemporaries, and there where he nearly carried his sanity to a hole and buried it. It was a very mysterious day. The place was almost empty and he got chills down his spine just being present in the scene. On the wall there was a picture that looked familiar, and when he got close his heart stopped because he saw it was a painting of his dream. It was a painting of his dream, his body on a runway by a ladder to an airplane with his propeller spinning, which accounted for the loud noise. The matchup was perfect, and that was the day he stopped believing in existence. He resented his creator. I mean, words can't explain what must have went on in his brain while he stared into a frame of a work of art which he created and was at the same time. The mind can't handle that much, it's just insane. It's like reading a book where each word describes your thoughts, and in quotations it reads whatever you say when you talk. You think it can't happen, but it did happen. I guess there's surprisingly wide cracks in each life sidewalk. He stumbled upon an answer when he never had a question, and decided to stop dreaming to maintain his mental health. Now he hardly talks to people, just stays in his basement writing infinity by painting himself, This is a strange universe. Is it all just a blueprint in the real universe? Is my consciousness useless? Are we really something a higher intelligence made up a figment of imagination colored by a cosmic paintbrush? Maybe all of our art creates the fate of other beings, that every character in every novel thinks it's alive. We're just gods ruling blindly. Just a theory, I don't know what it means, but that's the story of the man who trained himself not to dream. He once saw a painting that told his whole life story. He witnessed the paradox of the word existing. He once saw a painting that told his whole life. He colored his world theirs and concluded he wasn't living. He once saw a painting that told his whole life story. The hidden variable that all that is art. And when I close my eyes I see eternity as a story. A God imagined the God that imagined me, and I am God. And so on, so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. I'm keeping sunshine on my mind. The drops hit my head, they leave. Everyone wants to get out of them. We cannot avoid nature's bleeding. I smile while it trickles down the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Harvested love only comes after rain, even though it brings overwhelming strain. It falls from all skies, so I can't complain. Without it, our growth would not be the same. Most people like to have someone to blame, but it falls randomly, not taking aim. It makes up one half of the yin and yang. Without the water, you can't have the flame. Without the water, you can't have the flame. Some are content holding ground in their game, but when my soul steps to exit this frame, I will be reincarnated as rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. We cannot avoid nature's bleeding vein, but I smile while it trickles down the drain. Harvested thought only comes after rain. Artists may talk and give it different names. When they appear wet, they may feel ashamed, so they don't walk but instead take the train. And when that ride stops, they notice the strange sense of degeneration they've obtained. While the world evolves, they stand and turn lame. Storm is prerequisite to mental gain. Storm is prerequisite to mental gain. Philosophy's like that, simple and plain. Poets play with words to keep themselves sane. You do your thing while the clouds pour the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Harvested skill only comes after rain. Architects build under sun, so they claim. But when the puddles decided to hang, it's when their hands sketch the plans that remained. Every man secretly hopes he can tame the beast he fears most, cause it can't be slain. Towering gray faces laugh so deranged. One day we all will break free from their chains. One day we all will break free from their chains and rise towards the sun with good health sustained. It's almost impossible to explain, but I owe all my success to the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. 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 Wants to be free, wants to see no more. We're guaranteed that the seasons will. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. We cannot avoid nature's bleeding. I smile while it trickles down the drain.
Every living thing runs from the rain,
That's him in the corner of social oblivion,
encompassed by the sweet sense of freedom that only borders the aura of deep cerebral gouges buried in each beat of the heart he was once proud to hold. If only his substance held a higher level of potency, it might be able to drown a portion of his mind which is trapped in the infinite horrors of his 1972 through 74 tour through the flames of living hell.
Sometimes gunfire's brighter than the sunshine. Sometimes a child's scream influences every dream. Sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking we moved on, but no way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget
It's
what
now
we've seen.
25 years later, he's on the brink of 43, still searching for sanity, surveying the floor of his distorted sea. He remembers high school friends joking about the war. Never knew what mom was crying for. The other piece that shines in his mind was the divine first love, soulmate, beauty, brown-eyed queen he left behind. He remembers holding her tight, watching the sunset at shore. Never knew what she was crying for. He got the letter in the mail by the middle of his summer. Wouldn't have had to go if it wasn't for his newborn brother. He was barely 18, murdering people even younger, and he still ducks and covers. Every time he hears the thunder, he still hears the scream, smells the flesh, tastes the death, sees the blood, feels the pain. What's to gain? Nothing's left but the slug that remains in his right calf. The bullet laughs every time he cries, and it drives him mad, trying to sleep when the visions give him a cold sweat. The war's been over for 2 decades, but he still hasn't been home yet. And every day he wakes and strains to suppress his guilt and forget the horror, the violence, the kill or be killed. Fists are always clenched, teeth are always grinding. Real life is lost, and in a bottle he tries to find it. It's not fair, he mumbles through a nightmare, only in the fight for 2 years and wound up spending his whole life there. He was face to face with the devil for the welfare of his country. Now he's training to live, but his conscience won't let him. It ain't flashbacks, you have to understand the tragedy. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war. It's now 25 years later. He's on the edge of a park bench. He's asked God for help and found his source non-existent. He sits in the shadows cause his son burns no more. Now he knows what mom was crying for. I used to watch old man at the park. The sight slowly drove right through my heart, wishing I could help but not knowing where to start. I'd walk away, curse the world, gush some love and curse some more. Now you know who I've been crying for. He threw his medals in the river, but they sunk alone. Put shades on his eyes to hide him from the war zone in the sky. He tried to slit his wrist about a month ago, but he's seen so much death, he's scared to life of suicide. If there was only some way he could escape this penitentiary. Gulps get bigger and figures it'll chase away his memory, but the dreams only worsen, the seams almost bursting. He recalls how training took away his right to be a person. Put a gun in his hand, left him to die with the land. The plan was the murder of man. Politicians have a dispute and decide to send in troops, but the truth is they just don't understand. Now he's running out of time and running out of energy, but till the last day he'll be fighting for the murder of his memories. And although he never got rid of his dog tags, he still wishes they'd have sent his parents an American flag instead. He was face to face with the devil for the welfare of his country. Now he's training to live, but his conscience won't let him. It ain't flashbacks, you have to understand the tragedy. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war, but the war never left him. See, he left the war. Sometimes gunfire's brighter than the sunshine. Sometimes a child's scream influences every dream. Sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking we moved on, but no way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen. No way, no how do we ever forget what we've seen.
definition of dope, cause I think our opinions differ. Till your own skills develop, be wise and shut the hell up. I told you, man, I fold your plans. You know you can't be bolder than me. With the microphone in hand, I'll show your fans I own this slam. My flow's intangible, expanding growth that stands and holds hip-hop on the cross. Licking shots with the lost vision. Listen, it's embedded in my genetic code to push the evolution, clean up the pollution, and let the rhetoric grow so your records get sold. And with each blow, you give ads a tad more gold to eat whole out of your crack piece bowl. As we go with our rules of freedom of independence, we breathe. So we'll eat to a full, keep control and bleed at slow-mo speed. You know, I weave and so my way through this imaginary land of fairies and trolls, trying to bury the scroll. I carry a load that weighs way more than my area code vocabulary unfolds, so that you cherish the very story of marriage you're told. Your character's bold, build the barrier, spare your words before you perish. Don't be careless, apparently, to share a paragraph. Cared your nerds, heard you grew some nuts. Now you think your crew don't suck, stupid fucks. In a battle, you'll still lose to us. This one's for all the people in the world that think they can get with this idea and abilities. You know we be the sickest MCs under my feet with their names on my shit list. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for all my people loving hip-hop that I truly gifted. Idea and abilities, we only came to rip shit. DJs with no cuts outside they self-inflicted wristlets. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for you. What's your definition of dope? Cause I think our opinions differ. I guess I don't know what's dope from the viewpoint of a listener. So how's it sound? My new joints, proof points, rousing styles, a new noise for 1,000 miles in any direction you point. If I was your pal, I'd respect all criticism that was honest, but I'm not, cause you're probably an MC in the closet subconsciously copying everything from the sentences to the penmanship. Mad cause I invented what you can't even pretend to intend to accomplish. Promise an end to this infinitely childish game. Refrain from grabbing a mic and spare yourself some shame. No, I don't sound the same, and yes, I'm a little deranged, but it ain't no thing, cause lyrically, nobody can hang. Yo, there's always room for admiring a pro, but get off the jock, can't you see the tire swing is full? Oh, now you wanna call me out for offending your ears? Just chill, there's a billion other better ways to end your career. For real, I can't even hear you skillless motor mouths with total cloud adding up to less than zero. I'm your hero, don't go that route, I'll show you out now. Peace to all the real MCs, but first I'ma show you why my DJ's name is Abilities. Idea and abilities, you know we be the sickest MCs under my feet with their names on my shit list. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for all my people loving hip-hop that I truly gifted. Idea and abilities, we only came to rip shit. DJs with no cuts outside they self-inflicted wristlets. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for all the people in the world that think they can get with this. Idea and abilities, you know we be the sickest MCs under my feet with their names on my shit list. This one's for you. This one's for you, this one's for all my people loving hip-hop that I truly gifted. Idea and abilities, we only came to rip shit. DJs with no cuts outside they self-inflicted wristlets. This one's for you, this one's for you, this one's for you. You know the type of girl that walks in front of you and makes your jaw drop. She talks in riddles and sorta tickles your soft spot. You see her in the club, she treats you like a scrub. She ain't tripping off you, she got your whole crew in love. Yeah, you're daydreaming of getting her in that bedroom alone, straight fiending, you beg like a dog for the bone. And she's peeping, and the reason is she knows there's a demon in between your legs with a mind of its own. No, you're a weakling, overwhelmed with hormones. Y'all start speaking, she grabs a number to your phone, and next weekend, you invited to your home. You weren't even thinking, you got played by a pro. She's a big shot, thick lips, nice legs, green eyes. Took advantage of 1,000, only slept with 3 guys. Ain't no Homer or groupie, Jane Doe or a Lucy. Her innocent looks are deceiving, so I'm telling you to be wise. Hey yo, I know she's a cutie, but she goes for the Lucci. Sure, her words sounded sincere, she even made me cry. Hey yo, don't think I'm goofy, but there's power in that coochie underneath those booty tight cut off Daisy Dukesy Levi's. She's a big shot, you know your dream girl. She knows how to use her looks to take advantage of the world. She's a big shot, thought you could school her. She dissed you like you were neutered and told you to go get a sexual tutor. She's a big shot, she won't touch your ruler. She's so beautiful, a cute but cruel looter, user and abuser. She's a big shot. Your eyes are glued to her behind. You know her steez, but you fall for it every time. Now, what about that popular school kid? That always have been, always will be cool kid. The class president, valedictorian, A+ star quarterback, Cadillac convertible driving, signing cheerleaders' autographs, stiletto on the jacket, medal around the neck, pin on his chest, and mind on his rep. He only dates models, drinks his summit from the bottle. When he walks, he waddles, and he ain't never lost a squabble. He put you in the locker and took your girlfriend to prom. He's in your life every day, and you can't wait till he's gone. But daddy owns a business, so it won't be long for he inherits it, makes carrots, and sings a rich man's song. He got the most expensive clothes and jewelry to wear. While you're looking for a job, he's looking in the mirror. He walks the halls surrounded by his fan club, starts fashions, trends, and hits the ceiling when he stands up. He's a preppy, fame-hogging, pig-headed fool. When he has a party, everyone's invited except you and your crew, and there really ain't nothing y'all can do. He's in every state, city, and town as long as they got a school. He's a big shot, thick knot in his wallet. Parents got enough money to send your whole family to college. He's a big shot, testosterone thirsty, hallway father figure with his masculinity stained on his jersey. He's a big shot, IB class whiz kid, bragging about a big dick, fat chicken, this chick. He's a big shot. I'm about to break down my favorite type of big shot right here. My favorite are the rappers, the egotistical bastards, the people that never clap for you, said they think you're whacker than them cause they're the masters. I bet disaster is caused in your mind when you rhyme and plaster they jaw shut with the fat verse. To him you're a hazard, weak matter, a reason for laughter. He's preaching he's live, but he's only that word backwards. After he dies you can climb the ladder, start a chapter, archo capture finally. But while he reasons he's no even flatter, a tat of his acrobatical arrogance to his genetically engineered emotional pattern of tearing kids in battles. That'll explain why he mean mugs. He told you your team sucks, said you was a cream puff and fled. Now you dream of choking him with that white cord. Instead he blows your mind straight out your head with that hardcore tear him season. Send him to therapy. He says fuck you with clarity and cry hysterically as he makes a parody of your passion. You tell your friends you think he's tight, but secretly you hope his career won't be lasting cause he's an asshole. But you know he got a nice sound. You know what else? What? You're looking at him right now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's just idea and ability. I mean, why are these rappers have no idea? They have no right to act like they're God's gift for all things. You know why? Cause I'm a big shot. Don't front, you know you love me. Girls never wash their hands after they get a chance to touch I'm me. A big shot. Hey, you can say I'm a creep, but put me in a room with your idols and I'll make them look weak. I'm a big shot. Shit, can't nobody fade me. The only way we could do a song is if somebody paid me. I'm a big shot, big shot, big props. The best thing to ever happen in the history of hip hop. Silence is what we all need for a minute. Dying's what we want to avoid while we're living life and trying to make some noise. The screams sorta seem like we're crying, reaching towards our dreams. I offer an exhausted sigh and rhyming keeps the posture of my back in fair condition. But why in the world do I do this music when so few people listen? Climbing a mountain that might eventually crumble. It's a bumpy ride into that light side of life where no one goes. Violence saturates our surroundings, my heart is pounding. I am one of the strong that notice the siren sounding, striving to wake you up so we can grow to maturity while we're all buying the government's repent from social security. Wine and cigarettes promotes good life, bad health and tax. I am one of the strong but also in the same trap. Exercising my brain, realizing that pain will be arriving if I dive into the cesspool of my mind. So I'm rewinding the recorded version of my conscience repeatedly. Not easily blinded, nor do I find it hard to ignore your weaklings. Weep, I shine with this terrific twisted piece of metal, strangely changing climate as they increase the level. I said I wouldn't sign shit cause I didn't want to meet the devil, but I lost my mind and I'm trying to find it in the dimension of space between bass and treble. I lost my mind space trying to find a treble. Mention the space between bass and treble. Chatter is my existence, so many pieces I can't count. Chatter is a substance that comes from most people's mouths. Matter is what you don't to me, he don't to she, we don't to we. But hopefully we can gather together and figure out what life's about. Patterns of emotion change shape from different situations. Lanterns shed light on the dark side of imagination. Scattered is good and evil to various people in areas of the ego, but we know we can be peaceful with the right participation. No batters stay behind the bass and get ready for the pitch. Rappers mold their soul into plastic and get filthy rich. The ladder to paradise is infested with parasites, and if you don't ride in the carriage right, you would swear that life's a bitch. Nothing gets you nowhere, but everything gets you somewhere. One pair of shoes is great compared to 2 feet trying to run bare. Nothing gets you nowhere, but everything gets you somewhere. One pair of shoes is great compared to 2 feet trying to run bare. Nothing gets you nowhere, but everything gets you somewhere. One pair of shoes is great compared to 2 feet trying to run bare. Nothing gets you nowhere, but everything gets you somewhere. One pair of shoes is great compared to 2 feet trying to run bare. Nothing gets you nowhere, but everything gets you somewhere. One pair of shoes is great compared to 2 feet trying to run bare. Nothing gets you nowhere, but everything gets you somewhere. One pair of shoes is great compared to 2 feet trying to run bare. It starts out with the question, how much of it is real? The skepticism sets in and lessens your appeal. Next you study conspiracy, develop some theories, and become extra wary of all your previous learned material. Your tolerance for stupidity degrades. Most your friends seem to be trapped in the maze. You narrow your associates down to the few you can stand, and even they sometimes wonder what's going on in that head of yours. Study East and Western philosophy, psychology, physics. You think a lot more and start to question existence. You wonder about your nervous system's limits. You tamper with reality maps and then ask hallucinogenic induced, who am I? What am I? Am I forever? All information breathes in the shallow dark halls of never. You can see where it's leading. You wish you were dreaming. If the castle crumbles, no one's there to put it back together. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? Or all you think about your sanity and how it decayed? There's no place to run, no place to hide. You can't escape from inside and you're losing your mind. You try to think of when it started and ask yourself why, but each thought deepens the sickness and completes the desert dry. Fear feeds the derangement of the inner eye. With nothing left you find yourself fall into madness, so you cry to your God and act normal to your peers. What if God ain't hearing you? That's your only fear. Each day you think more about your psychosis. No one but you can help you, and you know this. That's the craziest part of it all. In your rational mind, you only know two things for sure. One is that you're totally nuts, and the other is that you're the only one with the cure. It doesn't make sense, it's not how you imagined. You never knew it could just happen. You thought it came from stress, suicide, a near-death experience, war, drug trips, low pay, carelessness. You heard plenty of stories about schizophrenia, but never had evidence of one who thought himself mad. You're going crazy and desperately reaching for reason, but the strain to stay sane's your only demon. Best believe have you ever felt yourself slipping away? Or all you think about your sanity and how it decayed? There's no place to run, no place to hide. You can't escape from inside and you're losing your mind. You try to think of when it started and ask yourself why, but each thought deepens the sickness and completes the desert dry. Fear feeds the derangement of the inner eye. With nothing left you find yourself fall into madness, so you finally realize that you've always lived in hell. No human model or metaphor can explain how you fell. The puzzle's alive and it changes as you try to escape it. It created time and made it appear to pass by. You don't know what you think, you don't think what you know. You're a total lunatic and afraid it's starting to show. Oh, where do you go when your brain is your worst enemy? 666 foot tall bridge on 7th Street. You're scared, why are you so scared? There'd be no problem if you didn't care. Now you've truly formed an opinion about heaven. It starts out with the question, and this is what it ends in. Now I know you felt yourself slip away. Now all you think about's your sanity and how it decayed. There's no place to run, no place to hide. You can't escape the fact that you've lost your mind. You can't erase your mistakes, there's no way to rewind. The harder you look, the harder it is to find. Fear feeds the derangement of the inner eye. With nothing left you find yourself fall into madness, so you dive. So you dive, 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 so you dive. And with each foot you fall, the voice in your head starts to sound more and more like yours. Take a deep breath. There's nothing to be afraid of. What you just did was fall to the depths of existence, the place your mind keeps you away from by its own process of building models for understanding. This is not insanity. This is in fact the ultimate reality. The union you've achieved is only possible in thoughts no more. You never fall if you never fight. You found yourself fall into madness, so you dove. The best thing you ever did was let go. You found yourself fall into madness, so you dove. The best thing you ever did was let go. I found myself fall into madness, so I dove. The best thing I ever did was let go. I found myself fall into madness, so I dove. The best thing I ever did was let go. Life is a play, and we're always acting out without ever seeing it from the writer's or audience's point of view. But we reach infinity, let go. The writers, the actors, and the audience at the exact same time. So here you are, and now you understand. You always were here, that's why you always ran. But you can only run away for so long before you catch up with yourself and become part of the song. I'd like to welcome you to the heaven you created. I tell the truth, this is the wisdom of the ancients. Holding on to something contradicts our being, so fly free, fly free, fly free, fly free. Maybe I had to go crazy to get where I am. I felt myself slipping away and I let myself fall. Gotta lose your mind before you find it. When you finally find it, you find out you never lost it at all. There's a natural flow that's attached to your soul. It don't ask you to go, it just gradually pulls. It's always now when you're never not you. So follow yourself, cause if nothing else, your existence is true. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? I was slipping away. But no matter what I am, I'm me, and I know me, so I'm okay. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? You were slipping away. But no matter what you are, you're you, and you know you, so you're okay. I'm not a poet or a communist, a comet or a star. You're not a genius or a prophet, you just are. I'm not insane cause I have no need for my sanity. It's just another chain that keeps me from reality. Reality is mine to play with and mold. The best thing I ever did was let go. So let go of the models, transcend the physical mind, and peacefully become part of the whole. The walls came tumbling down, but this time it was for keeps. I've been running around looking for my feet, now they're part of the ground. And make the ground complete, live in the now, and forever be at peace, live in the now. Don't stray away from the cycle, I'm one with the universe, one with the life flow. When you know that that which is below is above, the fear you once had will become love. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? I was slipping away. But no matter what I am, I'm me, and I know me, so I'm okay. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? You were slipping away. But no matter what you are, you're you, and you know you, so you're okay. It starts out with a question: how much of it is real? Now all is irrelevant outside of this ordeal. Don't worry about explaining it. There ain't no human language that can actually describe exactly how you feel. Now I see clear through external distractions. Piece by piece it comes together. So I laugh and I smile. In the beginning it was deranged, but I guess all things come to pass after a while. If madness could have a picture face, how would it look? Like step one to becoming the contents of your own book. Right where you are right now is where you're gonna stay. And as long as you're always moving with yourself, you'll never slip away.
You've all been waiting for.
Hello, friends. I am Eyedea Abilities. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Think of the word free. 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 Free.
His is what he was about. Ever since his birth he was a nuisance to humanity. I wish he died instead of mom. Maybe then I'd love my family, but I'd smile at Pops, concealing that feeling of I hate you. Each day he'd wear the same 3 colors with the same suit, and mother would come to me when I would close my eyes and sing to the thought of her beautiful voice and the lullaby she'd sing till I was sound asleep. Then I'd awake and she'd be gone. My whole life my soul echoed her songs. I guess the grass is always greener on the other side. An intangible experience structures one Leviathan. From the Quran to leprechauns. Since when did America fall in between Lebanon and Ireland? Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Angel in my father's eye, only cause it helps him out. Freedom screams through the sky, wounded by a culture shock. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Angel in my father's eye, only cause it helps him out. Freedom screams through the sky, wounded by a culture shock. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. His philosophy was to beat up, you gotta push someone down. That was all I knew, cause that was all I was around. I found the flaws in his methods from the cause in myself. Father Diablo, only an uncle to everyone else. He taught me how to talk without looking in your eyes. Gave me a 9 to 5, made me ignore the lullabies. A puddle of the dry tears shade me colorless and categorized me as a baby, failing to realize how far away his mother is. Our relationship held with strength even though it's invisible. Hard to quit hearing her poetry, piercing emotions leak with the note she hits. I float defying gravitation. The only mom I have is in my imagination, so it goes. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Angel in my father's eye, only cause it helps him out. Freedom screams through the sky, wounded by a culture shock. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. One day daddy's gonna die, choking on the gunny part. One day daddy's gonna die, choking on the gunny part. One day daddy's gonna die, one day daddy's gonna die. And when that day comes I shall return to to my mother, and we'll walk hand in hand straight to heaven. And when the clouds part, I'll tell her that I love her, and she'll accept with an open heart, no question. Unless Dad was right, and she really was a monster. Maybe her silhouette reflects the hell of his own childhood. Maybe she's so insane no one cared to help, but if nothing else on this earth could mend her spirit, I bet my smile could. The volumes of her songs decreased the older that I grew. Daddy became my only influence of attitude. Now I'm robotically imperialistic and careless of people, a trait inherited by my parents' omnipotent ego. It symbols the ego, but its child isn't free. You'll see no sign around my neck saying I'm proud to be me. I'm not grown up, the concept of adulthood is dead. He left scars on my back when my notebook was read. I guess the grass is always greener on the other side, and intangible experience structures one Leviathan. From the Quran to leprechauns, since when did America fall in between Lebanon and Ireland? Mama was a lullaby, Daddy was a melting pot. Angel in my father's eye, only cause it helps him ride. Freedom screams through the sky, wounded by a culture shock. Mama was a lullaby, Daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, Daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, Daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, Daddy was a melting pot. Daddy, don't think that I forgot. Don't think that I forgot. Days turn into years, A students turn into dropouts. Seeing the world from a creative angle turns into seeing it from a couch. Orgasms become lifetimes, bong hits turn into white lines. A face becomes a dartboard and cardboard becomes a house. Boys turn into men, enemies become your friends. Losing turns into winning and the beginning becomes the end. Words turn into magic, rewind becomes a habit. Rabbits become vultures and cultures become trends. A party becomes a funeral, sunlight turns into cancer. The rain turns beautiful, an unusual question becomes an answer. Happiness becomes a cataract, a sip turns into a six-pack, and Earth turns into Mars as my album becomes a standard. A hero becomes a statistic, a lost soul enlisted. The potholes are lifted as the hot coals leave you blistered. The sickness becomes a teardrop, a cup of coffee becomes a long day. Your best friend's guidance becomes the wrong way. As the song plays, my voice becomes the past, present and future. Transportation becomes pollution as humans become computers. Time becomes space, minds become waste, and a person becomes less interested when a mic becomes an instrument. And age turns into a nightmare, love becomes hate, the 9 becomes a 0, and every country becomes one state. All you thought you knew was just a foolish assumption. Yes, everything is something, but something is nothing. On this I stand, 2 sets of footprints placed ahead of the dirt, softened from teardrops, and overlooking the earth as the son of a moon, protected by a force field of pure thought. On this I stand, a rally of unemployed, disgruntled words spawned from long journeys through somewhere that only caused me pain as I strained my soul, cramming it with light so I could bring some there. I bleed the blood of a cold stone that roams without a shadow. I'm only deep enough to realize that I'm shallow. My head, I keep it up, but it's hard to keep it straight when you don't believe in love and you just can't cope with hate. Metal rust, leaves turn into dust as the difference between love and lust clarifies its trust. If you only had an hour to sum your whole life up, would you spend that hour saying that an hour ain't enough? I've escaped the shell that bound me to cowardice. Now I'm faithful to the wind, but compared to it I'm powerless. The first step was made, and it was a fair accomplishment. The pond was sitting still, so I threw a rock in it, and as my reflection rippled, it all became clear. Seasons always change, so there's no reason for fear. We made an autobiography of our pivotal years. It's all I got, and I'm giving it to you because I care. A lot of the time, humans as artists exist in a self-projected state of falsehood. We're either too close to our image to be objective in our perception, or too far away to be subjective in any matter. This only widens the void that social conformity introduced to our souls at birth. And so I write. But I don't write without the intention of objectivity or attention on the image, but only as an omnidirectional bridge between the several floating tunnel-structured realities present in comparable space and time. See, I don't write for the future, I write about the future, for the present. I write with my past, about the future, for the present. On this I stand, the oasis of a limbo, adjacent to my generation, facing out the window, waiting for some ventilation, patient while the wind blows, graceful in its demonstration, overall innovation. On this I stand, a fountain of youth, sovereignty, 1,000 syllables more than a pound of flesh, a deep breath of achievement, a dream and a wake-up call, another haul of the quest. On this I stand, a letter to civilization. On this I stand, the purity of creation. On this I stand, a paradigm for self. On this I stand, a thank you for your help. On this I stand, my firstborn child. On this I stand, something for now. On this I stand, life, love, death, and hate. On this I stand, an album, glad you can relate. Peace.
Music is taken away. Goodbye.
Alrighty then. Yeah. Like this.
You gotta realize you're fucking with the baddest. Make these so-called rappers reevaluate their status.
Cause before we touched the mic, you actually were believing that the bullshit you do is called MCing.
That ain't MCing. You gotta realize you're fucking with the baddest. Make these so-called rappers reevaluate their status.
Cause after we rock the mic, you cats will stop believing that bullshit you do should even be called MCing.
Peep it, I don't brag and boast for pure recreation. If I say I'm serving rapper, I'm just giving you useful information. You already proved that you're fake, choking in a vocal booth, poking holes in your swollen throat, hopelessly redoing your tapes. I whip that crew into shape, embarrass you so bad the arrogance you had'll turn into a voice telling you to move out of state. Wait, let me guess, you the dopest out of everyone you know and got the balls to think you can fuck with a pro? I don't think so. You need to reevaluate what you're doing, blueprint and idea, redefine this shit called the rhyme and stupid high and drenched free lines. That's why I don't make battle music. Cause I don't need to write songs about battling, bitch, I do it. So tell your camp if anyone got beef, they can pick a place to meet and I'll greet them with defeat. But if not, tell them to keep coming to the shows, waving their hands, yelling ho like the fans we all know. Yo,
you gotta realize you're fucking with the baddest. Make these so-called rappers reevaluate their status.
Cause before we hit the stage, you were actually believing what you did prior to this was MCing.
That ain't MCing.
You gotta realize you're fucking with the baddest. Make these so-called rappers reevaluate their status.
Cause after we rip the mic, you kids don't stop believing that the bullshit you and your boys do on the weekend is MCing.
I got the feeling I've already heard your verse. So any turn you take will only be a turn for the worse. That's the truth and I know it hurts. You're so bad I'll have the last laugh even when I rhyme first. I hear the frontin', I hear loud talking, I see the posing, I hear the dogs barking. But listen dog, nuts, you ain't a hard target. Cause every bar you rhyme is just a nail in your coffin. Every battle is a chance to see another cat lose to me. I don't write battle raps, I write eulogies for herbs that got nerve to think they can't be whack. Cause they undefeated in the mirror battling fantasy cats. I rep grown man, get manhandle rap. You rep open-toed sandals and fanny packs. Beat Blueprint or Eyedea? Can't see that. We'll give you a free L plus your sanity back, bitch.
You gotta realize you're fucking with the baddest. Make these so-called rappers reevaluate their status.
Cause before we hit your circle, you weaklings were believing what you did before we got there was MCing.
That ain't MCing.
You gotta realize you're fucking with the baddest. Make these so-called rappers reevaluate their status.
Cause after we rock the mic, your cats will stop believing that bullshit you do should even be called MCing.
So, have you figured out what the fuck you doing wrong yet?
Cats with no stage presence shouldn't rock a long
Yo,
set.
if you come into my show, you better have a strong neck.
Cause heads nod way out of control when
Yo,
we're
my
on
man,
deck.
I couldn't keep myself awake for the 5 minutes your song
They
stretched.
can't move a crowd cause they lack the arm strength. The kind of cats that I'd rather keep at arm's length. Frontin' like they hard when we know that they harmless.
MCs, they be the first to get scared. While we kicking birches, they weep, squeezing a teddy bear. The orphanage turns your concept of a rap career from a pretty daydream into your worst nightmare.
Yes, right there, the feeling of perfection, quite rare. Fully loaded mic bullies, Blueprint, Eyedea. I can smell victory in a night's air. Weightless, rhyme sayers.